All right, burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war. Welcome back, community. This is Burgeoning here, and you are returning for the Kitchen Table series. This is deck tech number 15 of our ever-growing Kitchen Table series. And in today's deck tech, if you have been paying attention throughout, you know that we are about to finish with the enemy colors. The first 5 were monocolor. Then we moved to the allied pairs, and now we are down to the last of our enemy colored decks. And today we are going Golgari Garruk. We are going to put together a Golgari Garruk deck with a focus on just doing Garruk-like things, making tokens, destroying other things, with a little help from some of Garruk's acquaintances, we'll put it that way. So let's start off with our mana base. We are going to run with 8 swamps, 8 basic swamps, and we are going to roll with 9 basic forests, 9 basic forests, and 1 play set of Woodland Cemetery. It's our Golgari Checkland, a black and a green, and it enters the battlefield untapped if we control a swamp or a forest. Those are our lands. We'll move to our artifact ramp, and of course, we're kitchen table, so we're throwing in a soul ring. And since we're running big ol' mana-hungry Garruks, we are going to include a playset of the Golgari Signet. Alright, so we got 4 of those, 4 Golgari Signets to go with our soul ring, in addition to a playset of Talisman of Resilience. It's our Golgari Talisman from Modern Horizons. 4 copies. So we got 9 pieces of Artifact Ramp to go with our 21 lands. So that's 30. So half the deck right there is dedicated to our mana. And we're going to need it because Garruk don't come cheap, folks. At least not the ones that we're rolling out with. In addition to our, well, we'll get to those. So let's move from our lands to our removal spells, because if we're going to be playing with Garruk, we need to make sure that he stays clean. So we're going to include a playset of Golgari Charm. It's our modal charm. Pick 1. All creatures get -1/-1 till end of turn. Or we destroy target enchantment. Or we can regenerate each creature we control. 4 copies of Golgari Charm. In addition, we're going to throw in a few copies of Maelstrom Pulse. 1 a black and a green. The sorcery says destroy target non-land permanent and all other names of that and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. The camera, there's the camera. Yeah, now focus it when I'm already done messing up the the description of Maelstrom Pulse. 3 copies of Maelstrom Pulse. And we have a playset, a complete playset, all 4 copies of Death Sprout. 1, 2 black and a green. Destroy target creature, and then we search our library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped. 4 copies of Death Sprout. And removal spell number 12 in our last one. 1 copy of Casualties of War. 2 black and green. We can pick any number. Destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, destroy target enchantment, or destroy target land, or destroy target planeswalker. All right, so that's 30 with the mana. That's 12 with the removal. That's 42. So we don't have much left in our 60-card kitchen table deck. So let's talk about our Garruks. We're going to start one copy of the original Garruk Wildspeaker. 2 and 2 green. We can +1 him to untap 2 target lands. We can -1 him to put a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. We can -4 him to Overrun, which is +3/+3 and trample for our creatures till end of turn. One copy of the Wildspeaker. Next up, we've got one copy of Innistrad Garruk. Garruk Relentless, 3 and a green. If he has 2 or fewer loyalty counters on him, transform him. For a 0, he deals 3 damage to target creature, and then that creature deals damage to its power to him. Now notice it says deals 3 damage to target creature, so technically it could be one of our creatures to help get Garruk transformed. And also as a 0, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. So you see the synergy there. He can create a token of a wolf, kill it next turn, and then have him transform into Garruk the Veil Cursed. And when we do, we can +1 him to put a 1/1 black wolf creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. We can -1 him to sacrifice a creature, and if we do, we search our library for a creature card, reveal it, and put it into our hand. The unfortunate part of this -1 ability is we have no creatures in the deck, hence the large number of removal spells. So -3, creatures we control gain trample and get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in our graveyard. Okay, so the other ability of this -3 ability of Garruk's is not really going to be that beneficial either. However, to +1 him to put a black wolf creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield, that definitely acts as a combat deterrent to keep our Garruks clean. So one copy of Garruk Relentless. Next up, we have Garruk Primal Hunter. 2 and triple green. We +1 to put a 3/3 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. We -3 to draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures we control. And we -6 him to put a 6/6 green worm creature token onto the battlefield for each land we control. So Garruk Primal Hunter brings us the creature tokens. One copy of the Apex Predator. 5, a black and a green, comes in with 5 loyalty counters, +1, destroy another target planeswalker, +1, put a 3/3 black beast creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield, -3, destroy target creature, we gain life equal to its toughness, and -8, target opponent gets an emblem with, whenever a creature attacks you, it gets +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn. So you can see our focus of creating creature tokens, making them big, destroying our opponent's creatures, either with our spells or just through combat of our big old creature tokens. And our last Garruks, Garruk Cursed Huntsman. Straight from Throne of Eldraine. 4, a black and a green. Comes into play with 5 loyalty counters. For 0, we create 2 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with, when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk we control. -3, we destroy a target creature and draw a card. And -6, we get an emblem with creatures we control, get +3/+3, and have trample. 3 copies of the Cursed Huntsman. All right, so we have shown our Garruks. There they are. So, what are some of these spells that are going to help us close out the game? Well, how about Bitter Blossom? 1 and a black. At the beginning of our upkeep, we lose 1 life and create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. 2 copies of Bitter Blossom. 2 copies. And with all of these creatures of our opponents that we're going to be destroying and sending to the graveyard, let's find some more uses for them. So, as we foreshadowed earlier, one of Garruk's acquaintances, there she is, Liliana Vess in the form of Rise of the Dark Realms. For 7 and 2 black, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under our control. So all of those creatures we destroyed with our removal spells, the creatures we destroyed with our Garruks, they come into play under our control if we cast Rise of the Dark Realms. And hopefully we've got some overrun abilities to make them big and tramply to just run over our opponents and win the game. 3 copies of Rise of the Dark Realms. All right, and the last few cards in our deck, just to make sure that we can hit that overrun ability with all of the tokens we're going to be generating and the creatures we'll be unearthing from our opponent's graveyards, let's include overrun. 2 and triple green, creatures we control get +3/+3 and gain trample till end of turn. 4 copies of overrun. 2 cards to go. And how about 1 copy of Altar of Dementia? In order to fuel the graveyards of our opponents for a nice, beefy Rise of the Dark Realms, we can sack some of our creatures and have target opponent, it could be us too, but that won't benefit us at all, and have target opponent put a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power from the top of their library right into their graveyard. Altar of Dementia helps to fuel our Rise of the Dark Realms. And lastly, to make our token army that much more formidable, 1 copy of Second Harvest. 2 and 2 green from Shadows over Innistrad, of course. For each token we control, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that permanent. Double our token army for our Garruks to make bigger. And that is it, folks. This is deck tech number 15 of the Kitchen Table series, and this is Golgari Garruk. And unfortunately, we will not participate in any play testing of this deck because this is so dependent on our opponents, their libraries, the creatures they're putting into play, and what we can destroy and then eventually get back. However, as you can see, we have quite a stacked deck against creatures. This is MTG Burgeoning. You're watching the Kitchen Table series. Go forth and enjoy your day. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2. Select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.